My name's Ken Waldman, and I do a lot of work with kids, whether in schools, in concert situations, and what I do with kids is I'm trying to get them to, well, I celebrate creativity. I let them know that, well, I say that I'm a writer, and I ask if they've already been reading a book earlier in the day. And some may raise their hands. And I say, if you've been reading books yesterday, you're going to be reading a book this weekend. Do you like going to the library? Do you maybe someday want to write a book? And kids will raise their hands. I say, well, I'll tell you a trick about writing. It's about noticing things. And I'll ask them some questions. I say, just pay attention. If you see a floor, point to it. And they're either sitting in chairs or there's a floor. There's always going to be a floor. So they point to that. If you see a door, point to it. And there's going to be in the room, there's going to be a door. They see a wall, point to it. And the questions, or what I ask them gets a little, they have to pay a little bit more attention. If I say, if you see the letter X, point to it. And there will probably be an exit sign, or I wouldn't ask, and they have to notice the exit sign and see the letter X. I'll ask them if they see somebody wearing the color blue, somebody wearing the color red, somebody wearing stripes. If they see a really big bag, point to it. And this really big bag is what I'm always having in the room somewhere, and the kids will point to this big bag. Next, I ask if anybody in the room is strong, and a lot of kids will look at me quizzically, but I say, if you're strong, raise your right hand. Some kids will figure it out. They'll raise their right hand. I say, if you're very strong, raise both hands. And if you are very strong, raise both hands and stand up. And a lot of kids will raise both hands and stand up because some of them have stood up. And I'll go and try to find a volunteer and ask them what they are. And some kids, when I go up to them, they don't have a clue on what I'm trying to get them to do. But somebody will eventually say, I am very strong and brave. That's very strong, So they're very strong and brave. They are the volunteer. They come up. I ask them to lift this bag with me because they're strong, very strong, and they're brave for being up there. And after we've lifted the bag, I ask if they're a good guesser. And I ask that you can feel the bag. They already know, actually, that my name's Ken Waldman. I live in Alaska, that I'm a writer and musician, so there's some clues. And I say that when you read a book, don't you like it when you turn pages and you don't know what's going to happen next? So I show them what is in the bag I've had kids guess that there's dogs and moose in this bag, all sorts of things. But what I end up showing is another bag. And I open this bag up. And I show this. Kids often think this is the funniest thing. So I open this bag too. They're already guessing there's a bag in there, but I say, you sure there's a bag? Because actually, there are two bags. And I'll open this bag. If I find the zipper, I'll open the bag. I open this. And I do this in libraries, in classrooms, in gymnasiums, auditoriums, in big theaters. And I open this. Kids cannot believe all the bags that I am taking out of that bag. They think there may be enough bags. But no, there's more bags. But eventually, there better be a payoff of some sort. So, I have the sock, which turns into a puppet. I see if I have any friends out here. Do I have any friends? Yes, want to be my friend? And sometimes there's been a guess that there's a music instrument, because after all, I'm a musician. And I say for those guessers, they're correct. And that's how I like to open shows in enough settings where I have the icebreaker and then the kids are on my side and then we go from there. That's the big bag trick.